So what we're going to be talking about today is what I believe is, and I've said this so many times, so it's the most important part of your practice. It's the one that you can't ever just stop doing, and you can't ever stop training on it, can't stop thinking about it. And that is your enrollment process, your ROF. So we're going to talk about some of the mindsets and how to create leverage. And I've got I'll share with you some slides on this. But I don't know if you guys caught sent everyone a Picasso quote over the weekend, and he said, "Only put off until tomorrow what you were unwilling to die having left undone." And that's Pablo Picasso, one of my favorites. And if you look at Picasso's life, a beautiful thing about him is he went so complex. By the time he was in his late teens, he could perfectly mimic any genre of art. I mean, his first art show in Paris, the paint's still drying as they open up the gallery and people are coming in, and he sold about 70% of all his renditions of some of the most famous art of all time. And then after that, that's when Picasso said, "I'm done copying. I'm going to steal this and make it my own." And so many of you, you'll have a chance today, and many of you already have done this in the ROF, but you've stolen it and made it your own. And that's what I'm going to encourage you to do today, because the ROF is your most important tool when it comes to building a successful practice. If you don't have an ROF process, your practice is not going to grow. You're going to feel the strain all the time. You're going to be constantly devaluing your services. You're going to go back to a fee per service operation. And it's just not a fun way to practice. And so this rapid enrollment mastery, the trainings that we've been taking you through this year are intended to help you repel any changes that come in the industry, anything that gets thrown at you from a personnel perspective. You can always get right back into the driver's seat and control your financial destiny as long as you have this one tool mastered. And so we're going to go and dive into some of the mindsets, and then we're going to talk about some of the tactics on how you use leverage to completely move people from "I'm not sure, I'm still trying to get to know you" to "I know you well enough, I trust you, I like you, but I really want that future that you can provide me that no one has ever promised me before." Because as we get started, how many of you have ever gone someplace and you knew you were looking for something, but you just didn't quite know what that was? And when you got to that place, you're like, "This is it." Maybe it was like those pants that you really enjoy, or maybe it's like some shoes, or maybe it's something even bigger where it was like, "I needed this business system." I mean, many of you have found that in Go Wellness. You said, "I knew I was missing something, and I found it when I came to Go Wellness." I found that there's a structure in place, there's a process, but there's room for creativity, room for growth. And so how many of you have found that before in your life? Someone shared with you something that you knew you'd been looking for, but didn't know exactly what it was. How about your smartphone? How many of you ever would have imagined 10 years ago even carrying a damn computer in your pocket, right? Now you can't go take a shit without it.
So true.
So yeah, because Cade's sending me emails, and I'm like, "Where are you when you're sending that email?" Because I'm going to immediately erase it. So, all right. So these things are all really important, but that's what we're doing in healthcare is we're creating an experience for someone that they want. They said, "This is exactly what I've been looking for," but they just didn't know how to find it. And so that's the beautiful thing about it. So I love what Brian Clark says here: "Building trust is bigger than tactics. It's your entire mission." It's your entire mission. Everything in the ROF, let's just start with the intention that you are showing a person a pathway that they're already looking for, and they're going to be so excited to find it. They just don't know what they're looking for. And your job is just to clear out the smoke and the smog so they can say, "Yes, this is what I want." So here's some of the mindsets. The ROF enrollment conversation is about developing a relationship. Relationships are built, the foundation is built on what? On trust. Remember what Brian Clark says. So trust, that's your mission. You build relationships. Our whole goal is lifelong relationships in our practice, but it's about developing a relationship. Most of your time needs to be spent getting to know about them, their life, and their interests. And then that's how you can start dispelling all the clouds and the smoke so they can see exactly what you have to offer. Mindset number 2, sell them what they want, but give them what they need. Cade, how does that relate to the ROF? I mean, sell them what they want, but give them what they need.
So it's all about communication and how you're linking up what their goals are, what they want compared to really what's realistic and what they need. And
Can you
so
give me,
you're
you got an
it's really
example?
just what say that again.
Do you have an example that you could share like with somebody?
So, so someone comes in and they have excruciating back pain, but come to find out they have this autoimmune condition and they're eating like garbage and they're creating the inflammation in their back pain. So you need to address it. And so a lot of people might come in just specific. I just want an injection in my back, just take care of my back pain. But really, what they need is a full wellness program. And so really helping educate them, communicate it. You first have to address what they want, which you got to address their low back pain and tell them how we're going to work on this, and then work on a bigger thing. And so you can do that all at once, or in some cases, it's better when you do it in phases. Take care of their back pain, get it reduced, then offer them a wellness program.
Yeah, I love it. And it also goes back to, well, here's what you want, Cade. You want your back pain gone, right?
Yep.
And we can do conservative treatments and we can get rid of your back pain temporarily, or we can do more corrective care and get rid of it permanently. Which of these do you want most? And they say, I want permanent. It's like, okay, so you don't want to keep coming back here and getting these injections, right? Yeah, I want permanent. Okay, well, we'll give you the pathway to do that, but it is going to require you making some lifestyle changes. And so are you willing to do that? And then that's what you know they need in order to get to that result. So yeah, that's a perfect example. Number 3, the person isn't buying your services, even the result you can get them, but the relationship with you as their leader who will create the clarity they want in their health journey. So I think a lot of us, we fail to realize that what people need in healthcare more than anything is a leader, somebody who at least has the confidence that you're going to be with them every step of the way. You and your team are going to work tirelessly to get to the bottom of it. Because Kate, how many patients come to see us and they're frustrated because their doctor just gave up? You know, my doctor put me on Synthroid and it stopped working. And so my doctor just said, well, your labs look normal. There's nothing else I can do for you.
Yeah, we see a lot of patients in that similar case.
Yeah. Or it's like, well, if you're not going to do the surgery, then just let me know when you can't walk anymore. And you just like, your life is so miserable that you're finally willing to come see me. That seems inhumane, but that happens every single day, right?
Yeah.
Or it's like, here's an opiate, and at least this will mask the pain, but you may be addicted to it. And I might see you in one of the tents downtown Salt Lake doing heroin by prescribing this, but it's the best I can do because I don't want to go any deeper.
Yeah.
So that's it. Pretty bleak, but that's true. That's happened to one of my patients who was a lawyer, and he had 7 kids or 9 kids, like a ridiculous amount of kids. Yeah, strung out on narcotics, prescription based after a car accident he had, and I wrote about it in my first book. And then he ended up getting on heroin. Obviously got disbarred, ended up getting a divorce. I mean, he was doing small amounts, so I didn't think it was a big deal, but yeah, no, it's a big deal. So yeah, that's a thing. So we have to go deeper, and we have to create these relationships, but we have to be the leader to give them a clear pathway. So a leader is just somebody who creates a future that wouldn't exist without you. So just think about that. A leader is simply somebody who creates a future result that wouldn't exist without you being there. Like if you think of like a basketball coach, what's the Jazz coach's name? Quincy,
Quinn
you know,
Snyder.
Quinn Snyder. And so without him, the Jazz wouldn't have a future. You know, they really would be hard for them to see anything. I mean, he did great at coaching them last night, even though they lost, but he changed the strategy and they couldn't have seen that without him. So, all right. So number 4, Your job is to lead them and to get them started, not to have it all figured out. Cultivate the relationship first. Secondly, show them you're an expert who will successfully lead them. So how many of you are fact finders? You know, I can sniff you guys out from a mile away because I'm a 4 on the fact finder, so I've just about enough to move forward. But how many of you are fact finders and you feel like you need to have it all figured out and every step of the way before you close somebody? Oh, cool. We got a comment in here, Cade. You want to, what is that, a question coming through or a comment? Oh, that's awesome. Okay, here we are. So RJ, not about me, just a general comment. I have followed your system, and I really appreciate this, RJ. You've worked so hard. I have followed your system along with Dan's guidance, and I have had 15 of 17 ROFs close with an average case fee of just above 4K. Brand new to functional medicine, just copying what you all do well. Don't reinvent the wheel. What do you think about that, Cade? That's awesome. Let's give RJ a big hand. Holy smokes. So that's a ROI. Well done. That's so cool.
Love that. Thank you. Thank you for sharing. That is killer.
Good. That's he's already got a 6 times return on his investment with Go Wellness. So that's great. We have 10 times goal. So you're almost there. Awesome.
And I think it's critical to follow the process. If you follow it, and you'll win every time. You can't get every single ones, but 15 out of 17, that's those are solid numbers.
That's got to be a record, a Go Wellness record. I think we got to get we'll have to do a little vote with Gene and Dan and see if he made it into the Hall of Fame, because that's some good shooting average.
That's a solid batting average for sure. Take that all day.
Yeah.
Nice work, RJ.
Cool. Okay, number 5, live the lifestyle is the only way to create the clarity necessary to provide the leadership your patients need. Isn't that interesting? I mean, one of our primary core values is walk the talk, and you got to live the lifestyle, and that's really going to create more clarity. And that's why we have our hacks every week, because I show my patients, over the weekend, I'm sending them pictures of me in a cold plunge, and up in the mountains. I found this cold springs that was coming out of the water, and someone had put this old iron tub up there like 50 years ago. So I jumped in the tub and got a cold plunge and jumped in the lake. But you want your patients to see that you're living the lifestyle. You want them to participate in it with you. That's what it's about. This is about giving people more clarity in their health. Number 6, clarity creates commitment because of the leadership you demonstrate. That's all a leader does, is just focuses the lens in the right direction. And that's what our job is, with our teams and with our patients, is just really help filter out all the things that aren't important in life, or even aren't important in your practice or your business, and focus on the things that are, because there's so many things you can choose to focus your attention on, but you only have so much attention units. And so you want them focused on the right thing. In healthcare, there's never 100% clarity, because you chart the course and set sail, but the winds change, and you've got to pivot your direction when the patient needs change. So I think we've all experienced that, especially right now, regenerative medicine. Okay, we're doing one service, now we got to do this other one. Patients get it. They know that the course is going to change off and on. But as long as you're moving towards that target, they'll love you, no matter how many changes take place. Hey everybody, Regan Archibald here with Go Wellness. And if you liked this episode, if it actually helped inspire you to be a better practitioner, help more people, establish a much better foundation for your business, then I'm going to ask a favor of you. And that favor is for you to share this with somebody you care about and love in the healthcare field. I don't mind if it's an acupuncturist, a functional medicine practitioner of any sorts, a naturopathic doctor, a medical doctor, any type of endocrinologist or specialist. we need to get this community strong, and we can't do it without your help. So I want to thank you from the bottom of my heart for all the hard work you're putting in and day out. I know it can be a grind, especially with some of the chronic cases that you're treating, but this show will help transform the way that you think, help transform the way you practice, and change the lives of thousands. Thank you for being part of our community.